Blacks and Latinos have always had a complicated relationship in this country. Now, on the East Coast, especially here in Philadelphia where I live, blacks and Puerto Ricans get along great. There's never really been beefs in the street between blacks and Puerto Ricans. We get along like brothers. It's different, but I know that it's different on the West Coast with blacks and Mexicans, especially in California, Southern LA. A lot of blacks complain about the Mexicans being racist, but I know in Northern California, it's totally different, right? They get along, the Mexicans and the blacks somewhat get along, and also in Texas. But then down there in Texas, there's a guy named Mexican OT. And this guy, he's wearing a grill, he's going around dressing and rapping like the black folks, right? And he was on Angela Yee's show, and he was pressed for using the N-word. Now here in Philadelphia, Puerto Ricans, when they talk, they use the N-word, especially Puerto Ricans in North Philly. They grew up in the hood. A lot of them is like my complexion with curly hair. They use the N-word, right? And it's funny, before I came to YouTube, I didn't really think nothing to it. We was all in the ghetto, and I looked at them as light-skinned N-words. Like, to me, but when I came to the internet, I seen a lot of black people was mad because they was using the N-word. I never had a problem with it for the most part because when I grew up in the hood, that's just how we talk. But I understand my people when they get upset with them for using it, especially brothers in the South where there's not a lot of Latinos like that unless you're in Florida. So I get it. But he was on Angela Yee's show, and he was pressed for using the N-word, and he said this.
Do you feel like you could say the N-word?
I feel like I can say it, but not because of that, and I'm gonna tell you why. What the are you gonna do about it? I grew up loving these motherfuckers. I grew up fighting with them. I grew up eating with them. I grew up doing bad with them. I grew up loving with them. I got family, and it's not even about family. Even if I wasn't related to nobody out black, I mean, it's what the I was surrounded by,
Now, the internet is divided as to whether he should be able to use the N-word or not. Now, again, like I said, me being African-American Cuban, but I'm a black man, and there's no doubt about it, for sure. Grew up in the hood. We all talk like that, we all use it, but again, when I left out my community, I saw that my people didn't like them using it. So I side with my people. You don't want them to use it, then they can't use it. Then that's just that. You understand what I'm saying? But then I started to look around and really use my brain, right? I can't go to a bunch of Puerto Ricans or Dominicans or Cubans and start saying words like, or Mexicans like greaseball, brownie, spick, wetback. I can't call them those names in terms of endearment, but they can say the N-word. No, then it's not. I understand now. It's not right because I can't go around to a Mexican and call him a tunk. No, I couldn't. He would be very offended, right? I couldn't call him a spick. I couldn't call him all these names that are very offensive, right? That you shouldn't be calling a person, right? Those names are wrong to the algorithm. Those are names that we should not use, right? At all. None of us should because they're degrading and they're putting the person down. So they shouldn't be able to use the N-word either, right? But then you have this Afro-Latino woman. She was online and she was saying this.
If you are not black, you cannot use the N-word. I am an unambiguous Afro-Latina. I am a black woman. And if I had a cousin that looked like Mexican OT Genesis, which I have, if any of them said the N-word, I'm slapping the shit out of them on sight. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not even thinking twice about it. And you know why? Because that word was reclaimed by black people. Someone is telling you that something is offensive, and you were like, oh, well, what are these N-words going to do about it? That's crazy disrespectful. I'm not mad at Cleopatra for asking the question because I feel like Cleopatra is the only one in that room that had enough cojones to ask. Now, Angela Yee, this is her show. This is your show. And on top of it being your show, it's not like you're a nobody. It's not like you're not connected. So you could have easily checked him and been like, oh, you need to get out of here. We're not going to continue. The men that was with him, I find it to be equally disturbing that none of them said anything. Nobody said anything to this guy, at all. Nah.
You have the Afro-Latino woman saying, what she said, but then you have Azalea Banks. And this is the colorism girl, man. She has all kinds of mental issues. So I don't listen to anything that she says. But she said, no, everyone in the world can say and do what they want. And black people really have no reason to be upset about it as offensive while we run around calling each other such an ugly word because we can't expand our vocabulary. If we want people to let it go, we have to do so first. African people do not use the N-word. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I don't know where she been at. Yes, they do. If you're black, stop saying it. Period. I don't know why that's so hard, right? I don't care who you grew up with. If you're not black, expand your vocabulary, right? But then you had a young black boy from down there in Texas, and he said this.
Bro, like, man, I'm tired of these motherfuckers that's not from Texas, steady speaking on Texas business, my. Like, everybody say down here. Everybody. Especially all Hispanics, don't matter if you goddamn Puerto Rican, Dominican, Mexican, El Salvador, man. You locked in with the blacks, man. You around, see us blacks, man, we raised around Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? In every neighborhood, goddamn me, it's a couple Mexicans, goddamn, or Hispanics, motherfuckers, this on our block. So we growing up with these motherfuckers childhood, since little boys, since little girls, you know what I'm saying? And we so locked in, y'all from up north wouldn't understand it because it ain't, I ain't gonna say it ain't no Hispanics, but it's racially divided down here. We like this, we locked in, my. Since middle school, high school, we getting invited to quinceañeras and tamale trucks and shit, motherfucker, come ride through on the little bike with the little
So the black guy was saying, y'all not from Texas, mind y'all business, man. Stop speaking on what we got going on down here in the country, because up north, you know what I mean, it's different. But again, I like to ask him, can he go into a barrio and use those kind of words, right? Those words that I just named earlier in this video, and see if he get out of there alive. See if they allow him to use those derogatory terms towards them. But there was another Latino guy. He went and he said this.
What I want to speak on is that when it comes to referring to your friends as a Hispanic, you really don't have to use that word. I mean, we have so many other words. We refer to people as pa. We refer to people as my boy, what's cracking my boy. We refer to people as foo, what's up foo. And ese, vato, pops. I don't know if other cultures use pops. I've only really had my Hispanic homies call me pops. But yeah, we just have so many other phrases that we can use besides that word to refer to our friends.
This Latino guy was saying that we don't have to use the N-word. You know what I mean? As blacks and Latinos, we got all kinds of slangs and all kinds of things that we can say. Why do we have to use the N-word? Why? And the sad part is there's so many black people that's cool with them saying this, right? But I'm telling you, they wouldn't be cool with you saying derogatory things, using derogatory terms to call them. They wouldn't be okay with that. But again, black people, because we have no cultural integrity, we have no cultural pride, we just go for anything. And the one dude that was talking crazy the most was this Sauce Walker cat. Now we know this dude is a weirdo, right? He came up and he said this.
Man, I be trying my best to stay out of subjects like this and rant like I used to, but this one really be bothering me. Mexicans, Hispanic people, and the word, and people using the word, that are of Latin descent, specifically. Mother said, I sound dumb as hell for saying, to say that a Mexican or Hispanic person can't use the word in fellowship is like saying Mexicans telling us we can't eat a taco. We can't eat tacos. The comment said, how can you compare a derogatory racial word to a food? How do you racially disrespect a white person? What do you call them? What is a food, dumbass? What do people call Mexicans when they be disrespecting them? Tacos, burritos, wet food, disrespectful. Racism is racism no matter how you put it. And if we're gonna talk about it, are the most disrespectful racist mother on earth. We hate ourselves more than we hate anybody. Wrong, steal from, don't support, don't help others. You'll see 10 in the middle of the street, mother getting ate by a mother grizzly bear and keep running. A white person to jump out and try to fight a Mexican to try to stab him. gonna put out their phone and record you die and suffer for views. But you have the audacity to say that Hispanic people shouldn't say the word. Second of all, the word has already been converted into a word of love, a word of companionship, a word of brotherhood, fellowship. It's not been a derogatory racist word in so long. Yes, coming out of a certain white person's mouth in a certain way, yes, man, feel more disrespected than for a white person calling you a boy. So at the end of the, like, some real shit, y'all be doing that shit for the internet, and I hate this shit, bro, because y'all don't really give a about. That's the part that irks my soul the most. And then, hey, how do you disrespect the Asian person? What they call them? Fried rice, egg, same. So don't ever say that comparing it to food is not the same. Yes, it is, you dumbass. You the dumbass, idiot. I love Hispanic, anime, Japanese, Chinese. I love all people. People need to love people. Yes, we have been done wrong, but a lot of people have been done wrong as well. Yes, we have not got our reparations and our blessings back for what we have been through in this world. But when you talk about Hispanic people, I feel a certain type of way because why? Hispanic people built America just like we built America. America was built on the blood of Hispanics just like it was built on the blood of the black man and the Indian man. So at the end of the day, all that is bullshit. And it's y'all calling for that dumbass systematical racism that make us hate each other. I understand that dumb that going to California, how they feel and all that, and that's dumb in a bitch too. Because right now, everybody should be supporting Hispanics that have came over to America and helped build this country and ain't did nothing wrong to you.
So this is where you get like these dudes like the Sauce Walkers, the Azalea Banks, the young man. They have no cultural integrity. They have no pride. And the other groups know this. I'm telling you, George Macon is telling you guys this that come from both sides. They talk about us this way. They know we have no cultural integrity. They know we don't have the pride of our grandparents. And they capitalize off of it. Because what we allow them to do, they won't allow us to do. And that's how they infiltrate and get in and take over. Right? But the Afro-Latina sister, she wasn't finished. She doubled down and said this.
You wouldn't go up to his people and his family and be like, oh, son mojados, which means. So why are you in a room of black people saying the N-word so comfortably? And then you know you're wrong because you're like, oh, well, what are they going to do about it?
And see, this is what happens when you don't have any ownership or you don't have a community base, right? This is when you raise generations of people that got to go outside of themselves for all the things for their growth and development, everything that they need. So what we do is we acquiesce to everybody else. While everybody else is loving us and loving the whatever culture we have, right? Everybody's loving that. We don't love us. We don't love the culture we come from or the culture that we have. We don't love it, right? And this is why we invite everybody to the barbecue. We allow anybody to say anything about us. All other groups know this. They gatekeep their culture and their integrity. We don't. We don't. Just because we use certain things. Listen, every group got killings amongst their group. Every group got dysfunction amongst their group. So because we got dysfunction, it's okay for everybody to just come in the door and do whatever they want to do. That's what Azalea Banks and the Sauce Walkers and all these idiots sound like. Because we got this some forms of dysfunction within our culture, right? That gives an excuse for us to open up the door and let everybody in, right? Well, every group got dysfunction amongst their culture. They just trying to hide it. They try to practice some form of cultural integrity, cultural continuity amongst their people. What we do, we don't care. We don't care. Anybody can just come do anything. And then we get mad when they want to take hip hop. Then we get mad when they want to gentrify our communities. Then we get mad when they want to have anti-black racism against our people. Then you're mad, right? Well, you allowing them to have it because you keep opening up the door and let them in. And this is what happens within our community. So listen, man, I don't think, like I said, when I was growing up in Philadelphia, I thought it was okay at one point, and then I got out and went out to the other communities across America, and I see my people wasn't cool with that. So when I see my people wasn't cool with that, I said, all right, cool. Then they can't, y'all can't use the word. But growing up in the hood like that, when you had Puerto Ricans and blacks, we all right there dying together, everything. I just thought it was normal, right? We always, where I came from, we call Puerto Ricans light-skinned N-words. But you do see, even amongst that, you still see where they gatekeep part of their culture to themselves, right? Because even the older Puerto Ricans, they were racist. A lot of them were racist. So I get it. And when I start hearing my people say, yo, no, George, they can't be using that, I'm not going to fight my people. And if my people say they can't use it, then they can't use it. That's just what it is, right? Because that's the same way that they would roll. So I'm going to cut this video short here, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.